In a dimly lit, dust-covered room, an old VHS player sits with a tape labeled in handwritten letters. Do not play. The adjacent television flickers with static, where faint, distorted words emerge. Do not watch. The atmosphere is tense, with an ominous presence lingering in the air. A young man with tired, bloodshot eyes sits in a dimly lit room. He stares intently at the screen of an old television, which is filled with eerie static. Shadows in the room seem to move subtly, as if something is lurking just out of sight, watching him. Amidst the chaotic static on the television screen, a shadowy figure starts to take shape. It has blurred outlines and a featureless face. The young man's eyes widen in terror, his breathing quickens, and his reflection on the screen mirrors his fear. The young man, now visibly exhausted, sits with his head in his hands. His face is sweaty, hands trembling. The television screen continues to flicker wildly with static, casting an eerie glow in the dark room. He attempts to turn off the TV, but the remote is unresponsive, and the buttons on the device itself do nothing. Distressed, the man approaches an old, cracked mirror on the wall. He hopes to see his own reflection, but instead, he sees a distorted version of himself. Eyes are dark voids, and his mouth twists into an unnatural grin. The room behind him in the mirror appears warped, as if reality itself is bending. The frightened young man hears a faint knocking at the door. He slowly approaches the old wooden doors, behind which a soft rustling is heard. A shadow is visible under the door, standing still. The dim hallway light flickers eerily, creating an even more sinister atmosphere. His trembling hand reaches for the doorknob, but he hesitates, unsure whether to open it. Summoning all his courage, the man abruptly opens the door. Behind it lies complete darkness, seemingly impenetrable. He peers into this abyss and notices in the distance a barely discernible tall figure with disproportionately long limbs. A chill runs down his spine as he realizes that something is indeed there, watching him. The old television suddenly turns on by itself, filling the room with a dim light. On the screen appears an image of the young man standing in the same room. However, his movements are unnatural, as if he is a puppet controlled by invisible strings.